Hey everybody, I'm Risa with Running Warehouse.
And I'm Caleb with Running Warehouse.
And today we're here to give you our full review of the HOKA Mach 6. So the Mach is a really popular lightweight trainer that gets an exciting update with version 6. We're getting a supercritical foam edition. So especially with that update, the shoe is going to be an incredible value at $140, which is the same price as version 5. This is going to be a shoe that can really handle it all from your daily training to your up-tempo running.
So the Mach 6 represents a huge update for this line. And before we give our personal thoughts, let's just jump into the specs of the shoe real quick. So we have a full length supercritical foam EVA. We have new coverage, rubber coverage on the outsole, on the bottom, and then we also have a new engineered upper. For specs, we're looking at 37 millimeters in the heel with a 5 millimeter drop. Weight-wise, we're looking at 7.9 for the men's size 9 and then 6.7 ounces for the women's size 8. So I put a few runs in these. I love them, but what are some of your personal thoughts on that first unboxing or those first runs?
Yeah, just getting it in hand, I was really impressed with how lightweight the shoe was. It probably is one of the lightest shoes I've ever tested before. It won't be for everybody, but I thought this pink colorway was really cute. And then getting it on foot, I hadn't tested the Mach before, but I kind of had it in mind as a more firm shoe. So I was a little bit surprised it was nice and soft and bouncy as well.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. The Mach 5 I found pretty firm underfoot and even a little bit rigid at times. It made for a fast turnover, but the Mach 6 is completely different. As you said, it's softer, has a more lively foam. And you know what? I really appreciated the extra rubber coverage. I think this version is much more durable, and in those first runs, I really felt like I had a nice traction on the roads and I could really confidently push the pace. The other update that really impressed me were all the changes to the upper. You know, that Creel engineer mesh is really soft, and I found the 5 was a little bit harsh on foot. There's a lot of comfort. You get a nice lockdown from the gusseted tongue, but there's even some more space, again, compared to the 5 and the forefoot. So overall, a more comfortable on-foot experience, and that really translates to the road.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hadn't tested the Mach, but this one, compared to the HOKA daily trainers that I've worn, actually gave me a better fit than those. It definitely was nice and secure. And then another thing about this one, it has a thinner tongue, which sometimes bothers me with running shoes, but this one didn't because it sits nice and low, so there wasn't any rubbing, which was great. What would you say were your favorite runs in the shoe?
Well, for my runs, you know, I do a lot within the 6 to 8 mile range, and in the previous version, I couldn't really push the Mach that far. You know, I would get to about 5 miles, my feet started to get sore and I'd slow down. Now the Mach 6 is perfect for that 6 to 8 mile range. It has enough protection, it still gives me that lively, reactive underfoot experience. But also, I even found it more natural through the gait cycle. It had a really smooth turnover. And again, I think in that 8 to 10 mile range, I'm gonna find a lot of runs where I'm reaching for the Mach 6.
Yeah, this one, I would mostly agree with that. Like I said, soft and bouncy, which I really enjoyed. I was a little bit surprised. I was thinking of this as an up-tempo shoe, but I actually really enjoyed it for daily training as well. And then for me, range-wise, I took this on an 8-mile race, and I was left just wanting a little bit more cushioning. My feet felt a little bit beat up on that, so I would say for me, I'd probably do 6 to 7 max in this shoe, but I really enjoyed it for those shorter runs.
Yeah, Risa, I think it's a really exciting time within that up-tempo training category. You know, we're seeing more and more shoes within the category come out with supercritical foam midsoles, and even seeing some plates being embedded in those midsoles. But I think the Mach 6 is really unique, a little bit niche, because it doesn't have that plate. And I really appreciate it on the run because it makes that heel to toe transition really smooth, and it adds a level of comfort that I appreciate, especially for training runs. It's a little bit reminiscent of the Rebel, and as you know, that's one of my favorite shoes. I think the new Rebel V4, which is coming out in the spring, is going to be a little more protective, a little more suited for the long run, but the midsole of the Mach 6 is a little more composed, a little more stable, and it provided more of an agile experience, which allowed me to get more runs in it.
Yeah, I haven't tested the Rebel myself, but on paper, those two look very similar. Another one I'd bring into the conversation is the Asics Nova Blast 4. That's been a shoe I've really been enjoying. Another up-tempo option. That one doesn't have supercritical foam, but the Flight Foam Blast Plus Eco is nice and bouncy, kind of similar to the Mach. And then similar price point there, a little more cushioning. And then other one that I would bring up would be the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. That one is a plated option, so you get nylon plate and the supercritical foam there. Spending a little bit more money, but you get some more cushioning. So all around, great options to choose from right now.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the Speed because, right, it has that nylon plate, which brings me to the Mach's relative, the Mach X. You know, the Mach X has that plate. I think you're gonna get a little more speed out of that one. As you're fine tuning for race day, as I'm fine tuning for race day, I'm gonna start wearing the Mach X just to get the efficiency benefits of the plate. But for everything else in that build-up period, I'm going with the Mach 6.
Yeah, so overall at the end of testing here, I have to say this is probably my favorite HOKA that I've tried so far. Compared to the Clifton, if I had to choose just one shoe to do it all, I'd probably choose this one over the Clifton now.
Oh, yeah.
So this one, overall, if you're looking for a lightweight, responsive shoe, the Mach 6 is gonna be a great pick for you. It's gonna be able to do everything from your up-tempo training to your daily runs. So it's also gonna be a great value as well. If you're looking to get the Mach 6 on your feet, you'll be able to find it here at Running Warehouse in March 2024.